Fight Child Abuse curriculum is, and explore how you could help bring this free resource to families, schools, professionals across Michigan. We will hear from CTM's Executive Director, Suzanne Greenberg. She'll be sharing why this work is so important and why we are so excited to be working with the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center and Wonder Media to get this information out statewide. Mike Nelson is here with us today. He'll be sharing more about the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center and the Fight Child Abuse curriculum information and how you guys could all get access. Many of our Children Trust Michigan partners, they are already implementing a lot of awesome resources that prevention programs statewide, such as child sexual abuse prevention. But Fight Child Abuse serves as a supplemental tool. So if there are some prevention partners on here today hearing this for the first time, or you may be working closely with some of the prevention partners across Michigan, this could also be a supplemental tool that you could easily access and use in a variety of areas. Our goal today is to create a statewide awareness, education using the Fight Child Abuse curriculum at no cost to you or your organization. And I'm going to take a quick pulse just to launch that poll here in a minute. It's going to take a couple questions to see like what you know, what you already might be familiar with. And as you're looking at that poll, just kind of gives us an idea of like what you know, what you might not know yet. And I want to do a few housekeeping items before we get started, and then we'll kick it right off to Suzanne Greenberg. And so what we like to ask is all of you is, probably in several webinars and meetings, if you could keep yourself on mute to help with the background noise, that'd be much appreciated. We're going to use the Q&A chat feature actually today. So if you have any questions at any time throughout the meeting, if you could use the Q&A chat, that would be great. We want to be sure we're capturing everybody's questions. And then we will get to those Q&As and those questions at the end. And if for some reason we run short on time, we will make sure we send that out with the recording, all the answers to your questions in an email. Looks like everybody's, so I just want to end the poll, share the results. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. In addition to the Q&A, as I said, we'll have time for questions at the end of the webinar today, and we will email those out. However, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our Executive Director of Children Trust Michigan, Suzanne Greenberg. And she's going to share a little bit about Children Trust Michigan and why this is so important, and then turn it over to Mike. Suzanne?
Thanks so much, Heidi. And thank you all for being here. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank our illustrious board chair, Amy Tatry-Lepp, for attending, as well as our board member, Alison Shrewsbury, who is the chief of staff to the superintendent for the Department of Education, who is the person who referred Mr. Nelson over to us. And so I wanted to say thank you to both of you for your time in it, as well as everyone else being here. This issue is near and dear to my heart personally, but also as an organization, that we know the statistics. Everyone has, over the years, I've been doing this for just a few decades, and whether it was 1 in 4, 1 in 7, 1 in 6, this particular number 1 in 7 comes from the CDC. It says that 1 in 7 children will experience abuse or neglect this year last year in their United States, but also every 9 minutes, it's estimated there's a case of sexual abuse that's happening in the United States. This is just way too many. Obviously, 1 is too many, but I know in our communities, we are all working to keep our kids safe and care that we want to make sure that parents have what they need, teachers have what they need in order to keep our kids as safe as possible. CTM over the last few years has definitely been exploring and researching all the different ways that we can bring that information to our partners and make sure that they have what they need. But this is a resource that came to our attention that, as Heidi said, I want to emphasize, is no cost and not to the individual program or to the organization that you serve. And honestly, not to the community where you really do your hard work, right? That we want to make sure that we're bringing this information, and to do that at no cost and done in an extraordinarily creative and excellent way. I can't wait for you to meet Mike and hear a little bit more, but I just want to tell you that we've been talking about focusing on sexual abuse, child sexual abuse prevention education for the last 5 years. And we have been little by little, and kudos to Heidi, doing so much research on what programs do we want to support, what programs do we want to financially support, do we want to get certified in, all those things to really promote them. This is such an incredible resource that we wanted to get out ahead of it and partner with the Barbara Sinatra Children's Foundation, Children's Center Foundation, and they collaborated with Wonder Media to create this extraordinary collection of assets that we could never afford to bring to you. And so we are extremely proud to be able to stand side by side with Mike and to tell you that we focus on all of prevention, and we know that many of you have taught and supported child sexual abuse prevention education. This is, as Heidi said, another tool that we want to have available to you in your toolbox. And that we know that when we were connected with Mike and he showed us what they have in their toolbox, we wanted you all to have all of it. And we wanted to ask you to help us to get this out across the state of Michigan so that no child or no family that's interested wouldn't have access to it. So this aligns so closely with our goals of making sure that we're providing those resources, not only to our partners, but throughout the communities in the state of Michigan, and that we do support and really provide education and training across all 83 counties. We are inviting you to help us get this information out to educators, families, childcare providers, of course, children. It's going to be really a kind of all hands on deck effort to make sure that this information is available. And we'll be doing our part, working together with Mike really closely. So we are a side-by-side partner, but at the same time, you're going to hear from Mike and hear about the information that's available and our partnership with him. I want to introduce this amazing gentleman who makes me look like I have no energy whatsoever. So I want to say that right out loud. He is so pumped about this information. And of course, then we were as well. Mike is the Vice President of Education and Strategic Partnerships for the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center Foundation in partnership with Wonder Media. So the people that have helped create what you're going to see helped create things like the Rugrats and the Wild Thornberries and other amazing cartoons. They're so talented. And again, I'll just say that there's no way Children Trust Michigan could have afforded to provide this resource. So we are really excited to partner and so thrilled you're here. So please enjoy listening and learning from Mr. Mike Nelson. Thanks for being here, Mike.
You're welcome. I can't do anything but go downhill from there. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be with you. I'm going to just start by sharing my screen. This is one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life, and it's very near and dear to my heart. I need to take a little break before I get started. I have a daughter-in-law who's from Traverse City. She married my youngest son, and they just had a grandson number 4, Ross, but she's a Traverse Cityite. And then one of my very, very dear friends was a college roommate, graduated from Farmington Hills High School. So, I do have some experience as opposed to just being like one of those people like, well, I know where Michigan is. I do have connections to Michigan. And not that I want this to be some kind of mutual admiration society, but I love working with Suzanne, Heidi, the entire team at Children Trust Michigan. And Alisanne, thank you for introducing us. I would love to reconnect at some point, but that's a whole separate story. Now let me get started with what we came for. This is literally what we're about. And I need to take one step back. One of my weaknesses is when I present, I think that I said it. You must understand what I just said. If there's anything that's like, whoa, Mike, I don't understand that, feel free to put something in chat or interrupt me or, because well, duh, I said it. You must understand it. So this started about 40 years ago, coming up on literally 40 years ago. And this is literally, there is Frank and there's Barbara at the groundbreaking for the center in 1985. And it is world-class treatment, world-class therapy, the very best that you can have. No questions asked. In fact, you even look at it today, it sits at the base of the San Gabriels in Palm Desert, California. But just the very best. But an epiphany kind of happened in 2016. It's like, look, we do a good job at taking the kids out of the river of abuse and treating them, right? But what would happen if we just said, look, we don't even want you getting near the river of abuse. We want to keep kids from falling into the river and keep them out. And that's really where fightchildabuse.org came about. And so it is, just as I said, it is all of the Sinatra money, the Sinatra fortune, everything is parked there at the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center Foundation. And its executive director, John Thorison. John is a very kind man, good to work with. The other side of it is fightchildabuse.org came about from a gentleman named Terry Thorin, as Suzanne alluded to. And just hearing his name you wouldn't go like, I know exactly who that is. Terry was the CEO of Klasky Chupo. And again, that may not mean much to you. Now let me put the rubber to the road. Klasky Chupo did the first 65 episodes of The Simpsons. He did all Rugrats movie, Wild Thornberries. In fact, what's funny, his name is Thorin, and so Thornberries is a takeoff of that. Terry has three sons. There are three boys in the wild, and Rocket Power, Ginger, several names that you would recognize. But this is a passion of Terry's, and everyone here, it's a passion for all of us. But Terry specifically says, no, I'm going to start and I'm going to animate these. So that, I mean, you're talking world-class animation talent. This is our newest video. This is Are You With Me? And it's really for high school kids. It talks about grooming and how grooming starts and how grooming takes place, how to stop it. This had over 1 million views the first 7 days it was released. We've had over 1 billion views worldwide. You'll get to know a little bit about our initiatives as we move forward. But we talk about, we're not experts, but we will talk about how to start those conversations. So we work with experts across the United States and in fact throughout the world in some cases on what we can do to start those conversations and facilitate that. We have testimonials. It's been tested with teachers, schools, administrators, parents, just like it says in the text. But we've gotten testimonials from people that you'll recognize, and I'll close with some testimonials. People that we have worked with, people who have experienced abuse firsthand, whether it is sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, bullying, all those kinds of things. But there's a couple of names on there at least you'll recognize, and more coming at the end. We begin with the protect yourself rules, and they're divided up into really 3 different segments, and they're very, very different in not just their needs, but in the complexity of the content and animation, etc. So there's grades K through 3. We have grades 4 through 6. We have our teen series. And with each of them, again, I'll just show you some sample content. By the way, this presentation I'm showing you, it was attached in the email, the invitation, I believe, wasn't it? Okay, I thought Heidi, you did that. So you can use this. It's just a simple flipbook technology, but it's really cool and powerful. And these links are live, so you can go view them. This is an example of content, 3rd grade content. So of our 3rd grade content page, easy for me to say. And then right next to it, we have a classroom lesson plan. This is a grade 1 lesson plan. So we've got lesson plan, we've got extensions, we've got books, we've got coloring pages, all different kinds of things, all on the website. And it's 100% free. No cost. No cost for the future. It is done by the foundation and very specifically to help fight child abuse, just exactly what the title says. So there's an example of what we're doing in 5th grade. There's an example of a 5th grade. And you'll notice that the lessons as we get a little older will change and they will adapt and become a little bit different because the kids become a little bit different and a little more. Yeah, it just changes. The whole dynamic changes. Then in the secondary, we've kept out all the lesson plans and everything like that in the 7 through 12 for now. But again, the teen videos and again, more explicit, not explicit content, more involved content because the children are more involved and they know what's going on. We also include some short films. And incidentally, the one Are You With Me down here on the lower right corner, I neglected to mention, it was a finalist to be nominated for an Emmy Award. And so the content is very, very high end, the development, but all these short films. So Are You Okay talks about, helping help people and just the simpleness of the question, hey, are you okay? I can be your friend. Or is anybody out there, everybody feels isolated and alone. Are you listening? Elizabeth and Ziggy is just a short film on a girl that interacts. In the interest of time, I won't get off on tangentially. They're world-class done, and all available free of charge. Have I said that enough? Just some examples of our global outreach. I'm very proud to say we are on the United Nations website. So we're part of the United Nations. FightChildAbuse.org is listed there. We've done work with them, work on their initiatives. As a base unit, all of our content is available in Spanish and in English, but I'm going to add to that in a moment. You'll see. We work with Scouting America. We have over 500,000 of these badges, the Youth Protection Adventure Badge that were given away last year. What's really cool about this is, oops, I hit the wrong button there. What's really cool is that this is from their own scouting magazine. It says, to sum it up as succinctly and efficiently as possible, it works. And that comes direct from Scouting America. And so we're very proud of that partnership. You'll notice each year there are different badges. So, a tiger badge, bear badge, on up through Webelow, you will have different requirements. And so they quite literally reference us in all of the requirements. So and again, this is live on the page and I can play it, but in the interest of time, I won't. I want to be respectful of your time. This is a news story talking about, and this is Miss Barbara from the video, but this is a news story talking about how we're working with Scouting America. And then this little play bar down here is this Vimeo that is what Scouting uses for the bear badge. So each year they prescribe what they do, how they do, why they do, what they do, and all that's available and included. We work with Child Rescue Ukraine, and that is huge. So all of our content's available in Ukrainian as well. We work with 115,000 classrooms, K-3 classrooms in the nation of Ukraine, and it's going on even as the war is going on because there's so much abuse, so much sexual abuse. Kids are exposed to every kind of thing you can imagine, and the people at Ukraine's Child Rescue are huge, huge fans of what we do. We've also dubbed our content into Farsi for the nation in Iran. So we're available in Farsi. I don't know how big of a deal that is in Michigan, but it's there. I'll just tell you that. Very proud of this as well. There's no such thing as YouTube in Japan. It's Youku. And all of our kindergarten through third grade content are available to 1.5 billion Chinese citizens on our Youku channel in China. So just a few of the things. We are working right now with the Ghanaian, I want to say the Ghanaian government. I got to get with John and double check that. I'm 99% sure, but the chance I'm wrong. But we're working with 10 different Western or Central African dialects. We're also doing the translation and dubbing into those dialects because it's just so important in the mid-continent, the central part of Africa. It's very important as well. Protect yourself rules in the United States. Aaron's Law. I'm sure you're all familiar, at least on a cursory basis with Aaron's Law, but it just talks about child abuse instruction in schools. You can see here's Michigan. They have Aaron's Law, and that's really how our partnership has come about. We help you with the compliance in Aaron's Law and Aaron's Law instruction. So just some examples of some things we've done with other states in the union. The first partner is really, it's a cool partnership. I don't know how else to say it. I feel stupid. It's cool, but it really is. The state of Delaware came on and they have taken the bull by the horns and started something that you guys can benefit from. So all the Aaron's Law instruction in Delaware is grades 7 through 12. They don't do anything, nothing K through 6 is required in Delaware. That's more accurate. So they have taken our content, and you can see this is their curriculum map. So in the 7th grade, they have an introduction where they, talk about teenagers and sexual abuse and online sexual abuse can happen. They've taken our content and put it into the statewide learning management system. They use Schoology statewide, and they've taken and they have cut up, with our permission, they've cut up the content and put it into a learning management system where people can go through. There are questions, there are gated responses and everything, so they can tell that the kids have finished the content for lack of a better term, statewide compliance. The note for Michigan, all of you on this call and everybody nationwide, is that they will export those SCORM files, which is for the learning management system, and you can use those at no cost whatsoever. So even the content that Delaware has developed for themselves, they're willing to share with all the states. And Delaware has been a very, very, very good partner. You'll notice down here, we're dealing with the Office of Child Advocacy, which would be in many states. The State Office of Education says, no, we want it to run through the State Office of Child Advocate. And it would be like Department of Child and Family Services, DCFS. Okay. Each state has a little bit different name and nomenclature, but that's the rough equivalent. Let me just pause. I see two things in chat. Any questions? Have I missed any questions, Heidi and Suzanne, since you're looking at them and I'm not?
Hey, Mike. Nope, we just wanted to know if it was going to be translated into Spanish, but you already answered that. So it is available in Spanish currently, correct?
I
The
screwed up in
chat,
reverse and got something right, didn't I?
the chat is off. You cannot enter. It's disabled at this time.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Okay, because please use the Q&A if you do have additional questions.
Okay.
But Amy Lepp does want to know if you have ever considered partnering with the Girl Scouts.
Actually, it's funny you'd bring that up. Yes, we just have not found the right entry point. So if you have someone, I'll tell you, it's funny enough. We're working with the Girl Scouts in the state of Idaho, but we're not working with them nationwide. No one has responded. Love to, want to. We just have not had the proper entree. Okay.
Mike, one more question came in. They are wanting to know if there's various languages like Swahili and Arabic, if that's available or will be in the future.
Suzanne and Heidi, we can take that up with John, if you know what I
Sounds
mean.
good.
All of these things, for example, in the state of Delaware, they have a very large Haitian Creole population and came back and says, hey, we want this translated. The foundation translated, it's available in Haitian Creole. And I'll just talk, the second state we dealt with was the state of Hawaii. This is their website or a link to their website. And you can see more here of how they've got their resources. They requested, and again, each state is different, so they only do K through 6. They do nothing in the secondary under Aaron's law, but all of the K6 content has been dubbed into Native Hawaiian. So, we can have that discussion. I'm not promising anything, but we can have those discussions. And by the way, the state of Hawaii was not sent a bill. That was already all cleared up. We're on the state of Ohio. This is what they've done. Instead of going through, this is part of the K-12 education website, but it's Ohio Department of Education Workforce. We're on their website. We're listed, and you can see one of the resources. I'm working with the ESCs, the Education Service Centers at the county level there. We're also working with Families Flourish North Dakota, which is a sister organization to Children Trust Michigan. Again, the state offices know we want all of that run through Families Flourish or Prevent Child Abuse North Dakota. We're listed on their website. The state of Oregon does things a little bit differently. They don't list any resources there, so each school district can do their own. And I sent you a link to what the Beaverton School District has done, and that takes you right to their district webpage. So we're working with the state of Montana. They've done press releases. We've done social media marketing. We've done outreach to, Facebook and Instagram all over the places, or all over the place, excuse me. We brought on people who are in the video game industry, a guy that has 2.5 million followers, 660,000 followers on Twitch, on his Twitch website, talking about the importance and how people need to be involved. So we try to come at it from many different angles as opposed to just a one-trick pony or one entry point in our marketing and marketing agreements. So just some testimonials. I mentioned this earlier. Some people, Simone Biles, multiple, one of the most decorated gymnasts in the history, and and there's a link to her PSA. This is Flip Rodriguez, who is an American Ninja Warrior winner, who is very passionate about what we do. He experienced abuse and bullying as a teenager and very much a fan of what we do. Lance Bass from the band NSYNC, and again, he's put out a promotional video. Ali Raisman, Olympic gold medalist, loves what we do, experienced abuse. I can say that about all these people. Dr. Judy Ho's a nationally recognized American psychologist, and she has been in several of our PSAs, a couple that just came out right after we did the flip book, of course. Elizabeth Smart, who is, if you don't know of her story, you're nodding, Suzanne, so I'll save everybody. Michael Phelps, Olympic gold medalist diver, big fan of what we do and will speak to what we do. And then probably I just have a soft spot. William Daniels, Mr. Feeney from the sitcom Boy Meets World, has done a complete PSA on what we do. So that's just a little bit of some of the friends that we have. And then the last page of this flip book is just my contact information, how to get with me. That's my cell phone, my email, everything, anything that you should need. I'm willing to help, willing to get in the trenches with you, work with Heidi, Suzanne, Alison, and I'm sure several others I just don't know yet and haven't had a chance to get to know. So I'm going to pause for a moment and see if there's any questions, and I'll go over and show you what some of the content looks like, if that's okay.
Sure. We do have a couple more questions. We will work on Laura getting that in Arabic. So that's something that Children's Trust Michigan can work with Mike and Wonder Media. And so stay tuned on that. In addition to any unique languages here in Michigan as well. I know some of our partners also have, I just lost the word with me, but so yeah, that's definitely an option. Mike, though, we do have a question. Do the teen lessons address sextortion at all?
Yeah. Do you want me to go there first?
That's a question. So yeah, if that's the one, I know we had recently viewed that with you. So we definitely have time to look a little more into the content if you'd like to talk to us.
Let's go. So this is the website, and this is not canned or any, this is literally what it looks like from your standpoint. So you pick your group, and you can go in and look at the virtual series. There's backgrounds about us, partnerships, how to contact us. But I'm going to go to the teens since you brought it up. And then it'll screen and say, hey, are you 13 or older? Yes, I'm over 13. When you come in, it talks about, here are the individual videos. And I mentioned all of these. There's the squad. These are the people that we deal with, the characters. So you can get a feel for what they are, what they're about. All of the protect yourself rules, and the protect yourself rules are very ubiquitous. We start these down in K3. They're, again, I don't know why that keeps going up and down, but that's okay. They're adapted for the teenagers because the issues are a little bit different, but we use them. But here, get help, find help near you, contact us. And then for teachers and counselors, there's pre-screening, signs and symptoms of abuse, use of animation and education, all these things all the way down. So I'm going to go over here and just come back to the videos, the Protect Yourself series. So online sexual abuse can happen. And of course, I won't be able to find the exact one that I want because I didn't have it queued up. Don't let pressure. Well, let me just play this one.
I never thought my first concert would end in sexual assault. It was a few months ago, and I convinced my parents to let me go out with Kim.
Hey, Willow.
Hey, girl.
Kevin's gonna drive us. Hop in the back.
Okay, Kim's new boyfriend aside, it was just us and no parents. I made a great case about how it was critical to my developing independence.
Ooh, that's hot.
We're there already?
Pit stop.
Apparently, we were going to have company. They seemed cool, I guess, but definitely not the glow motion type. But I was going with the flow. I kept my cool until we made another pit stop.
We'll leave in a minute.
Yeah, right.
That gives you a feel for some of the content. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to hop over here. Dealing with abuse, sexual abuse, confusing.
Mike, while you're looking too, I know looks like we might have a handful of early childhood folks with us today too. And knowing that it starts at at K-12 age, I, want to recognize that, it might be available for like 4-year-olds as well. And wondering, if you want to speak to that a little bit.
Let me just go back and I'll pick the K3 because we start very, very simply. I think one of the funniest things I've ever been on, and in the state of Montana, we were having a conversation, and the lady who I'll save you her name, but she says, this was so good, I've already used it with my own kids at home, with their little kids, kindergarten, pre-K. So even though we say kindergarten, it goes pre-K. In New Mexico, we started having the conversation. I'm meeting with them again tomorrow, finishing that off. The lady says, I've been using that. I've been using your content in all of my bullying presentations statewide. I didn't know you guys existed. I just found it on YouTube. So again, we have it on our channel. We have a YouTube channel. There's several places you can find it, several ways you can use it. To give you an idea, let me just play this. This is the introductory video for the kindergarten through 3rd grade.
Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Barbara. Today, we're going to talk about abuse. All children deserve to grow up happy and healthy. However, some children will face abuse in their lives. They'll be hurt or touched on private parts of their body by people they trust. We call these unsafe touches. and they are
This video is
abuse.
2 minutes and 44
Unsafe
seconds.
touches are scary and confusing because they can seem playful or gentle. We're going to learn the difference between touches that are okay and touches that are unsafe. For children who experience unsafe touches from a friend or family member, it can be very hard to talk about it.
But we have to talk about it. I'm Sarah. And this is Lenny. We're here to help Miss Barbara show you that you can talk about it.
That's right. If you think someone has hurt you or touched you in a way they shouldn't, you need to tell a grown-up. Telling a grown-up is the first rule in stopping abuse.
But there are other rules too.
I'm going to pause it there just again in the interest of time, but it takes you through and explains each of the rules, everything, taking you through it. Then I showed you a little bit of high school. I'm going to show you, I showed you K3. Here's what the 4-6 series looks like. Again, a little older, a little more mature, the kids. Let me just show you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Barbara. Today, we're going to talk about abuse. Abuse is something that many children live with, but is often kept a secret. You're old enough now to talk openly about the kinds of touches that are unsafe and to make smart choices for your own safety. No one should ever touch you on a private part of your body or ask you to touch their private body parts. These are unsafe touches, and they are abuse. Understanding unsafe touches isn't easy. The truth is that abusers are most often friends or relatives, and abuse from trusted adults is very hard to talk about.
But we've got the power to stop it. I'm Darius, and this is Maya. Kids who've been abused might be scared or too embarrassed to talk about it, but we can't keep it a secret.
It's never your fault if someone touches you inappropriately. If you think you've been abused.
So again, just in the interest of time, I'm going to pause there. So you can see the character development goes a little deeper, a little different, a little better, through each of the grades, depending on the age of the kids. So it is going to be age appropriate.
Awesome.
Any
We have
other
a couple
questions?
questions, Mike? Yep, sure do.
Let's go.
Are our agencies free to post the information and resources from your website on our websites and Facebook pages?
Yeah, there's several ways to go about it. You can just put a link to fightchildabuse.org. You can take it off the YouTube channel and embed the videos that are germane or, to what you are doing. Or, I don't know if any of you, if you're interested in taking the Delaware content, you can post that. There are several different ways to do it. Or we are just on the Children Trust Michigan website, as well. So it really depends on what's best for you. I hate to sound like too much of a sycophant, but we do have, it's really what's going to be best for you.
Perfect. And if they have more questions, you can reach out to Children Trust Michigan too. And if there's ever particular needs, we're definitely willing to work with Mike in Wonder Media and to try to meet those needs in your community and what would work best for you, however you guys want to approach that. So keep those questions coming. And also I'll be sending out information so you can have my contact information so that we can stay in touch if you have any questions in the future. I have a couple more questions on Mike. Somebody said that I have used the safe touch, unsafe touch video with pre-K and it's very appropriate. Awesome. Thank you, Laura. And one more question. How does a county, state, city, etc. personalize the Get Help link on the website?
I thought it should be personalized. I will double check if it's not, but it has been personalized as I've shown it to other people. Okay. It'll go off your zip code as a general rule.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. That makes sense. Good question.
Yeah. I'll show you. Let's see. Let me get back in because I got two different resources. I just went to the K3 webpage. So when you say contact us, name, email address, message, submit, and there is the foundation's phone number. That's the front desk at Rancho Mirage. You can contact that way, or you ought to be able to just get in and get help, find help near you. Now, let me double check that link. It works except when you don't want it, except for when you want it to work.
We can also send that information in the email that's going to go out to
you can use the
webinar.
search. You can use the search here. So this will take you to the National Children's Alliance, and it goes off of the zip code.
Awesome.
Okay. I also want to just quickly show you this. I don't want. Of course I don't want that. Let me just do this. I'm going to show you the Children Trust Michigan webpage. I've got that up right here. So this Children Trust Michigan, you go down and you can see there's the web address, but you go down and we are the first resource listed on the website. So this comes in your child sexual abuse prevention, and there's a link to our website already on Children Trust Michigan.
And we'll be working with you also to co-brand that flip book we'll be sending out. So there'll be some opportunities to co-brand as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, we're open to everything, whatever we can do to help, and get the word out for example, Thursday and Friday, I'm at a state school counselors convention, just standing there, talking to people. So whatever we can do to help, please let us know.
Absolutely. Any other questions folks might have? I mean, as Mike said, as you're thinking and you take this information back and you might share it with others or share the website and the resources, as you're thinking about how this could be used in your community, maybe in the schools. Mike said the options are endless. All we have to do is come up with the ideas and work with him and Wonder Media. So, really be thinking outside the box and how we could get this out. I think really, Suzanne, I'll probably turn it over to you if you have any last minute words. But if you guys have questions, keep coming in. We do have another 15 minutes yet, and we're here to answer any questions you may have. But we definitely are looking to partner with Mike and his group and get this out to organizations and, be able to support however your needs that might come up. We want to be sure that we're also supporting you in your efforts and supporting this child abuse prevention. Suzanne?
Just want to second everything you said there, Heidi. Honestly, it's really about us working with Mike and exploring the ways that we can better get this information out. And you've just been so generous sharing what other states have done so we can make sure that we are using all of those strategies and coming up with our own as well. So all of you, as Heidi said, if you have ideas or thoughts or wonderings about ways that we can get this information out, please let us know, because I think we'll be partners for a while with Mike and his team.
I hope so. I want us to be partners. And again, no cost. It's hard to not be partners, but I very much enjoyed how we've worked together thus far.
Yeah. And honestly, it's great.
Tuned, right? You create ideas. Sorry, Suzanne.
No, so sorry. But our partners are in every county, but we know many of you are outside of our direct prevention network partners. And so we want to make sure that this gets to every and all families, because it is so well done. And those of you who know, if you've taught in middle schools or high schools, oftentimes when we start talking, we sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, whereas somebody who is on this cool video can get a message across that we may not be able to. And so I think it's really important to share and spread it. And again, big thanks to Alice Sand for making this connection for Children Trust Michigan. And also just know that we will continue to bring whatever information we can to you, but are happy to, I've read many of the quotes and the comments about needing other languages. Absolutely.
Suzanne, can I add one little thing? We have the framework finished for human trafficking. We're just looking for the expert, somebody who can assist us expert-wise. So if someone has a nationally recognized person, in your spare time that we could work with on human trafficking, we have that content ready to roll. We just need some people with the right letters behind their last name, PH and D or something to that effect. But we have the ideas and the concepts. We just need to fine tune them. So just anything we can do that way, and that again, free, no cost.
If there aren't any further questions, I just want to thank each and every single one of you for coming today, to taking time to explore this free resource. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to either me or through our website. There's a variety of ways you can connect with Children Trust Michigan.
Thanks, Mike.
No, thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate the invitation. It's my pleasure. Anything I can do, please let me know.
Oh, and somebody is wondering if there's a partner toolkit for promoting and marketing and outlining the possible partnership or strategies. So absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing that question up. We'll be sure to share all of that information as we create it and we build that out.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Enjoy the afternoon.